Didn't like it, and I wouldn't usually stop now if it was only for that. So week 4 is complete. It's a tough week, I'm not gonna lie. 4th week was the final week of the first block, so it was a shock to the system. We did speed mechanic work, we did sleds, we upped the speed to 7 out of 10 for the 10 runs. That was tough. It was actually more tough trying to work on the actual mechanics, because my muscles are not used to moving in that specific way. With the teachings that Alan gave me, over repetition, over time, I sort of started implementing that, and it was good. I started feeling more better about myself and better about the injury, and that didn't bother me at all. And with the sleds, they were very tough. Like his motto, or what he was telling me, that you have to drive the nail into the ground as hard as you can and get it back up as quickly as you can. And that was very tough on the muscles, you could feel it. And then Tuesday, we did strength work. We worked on specific hamstring work. We worked on plyometrics. We did a bit of testing, which was tough. I could actually feel from the previous day in my sort of shin splints that I had a bit of DOMS in it, but they sort of stayed there for nearly the week. And I think it's just because of the load that I was taking on. Because the whole month was a shock to the system, because I haven't done training like that in months, in about 7 months. So it was a complete shock to the system. But I worked hard at it. That gym session that we do, that strength gym session, like it lasts for 2 hours. Like you have to warm up, it takes about 40 minutes to warm up. But it's the toughest gym session I've ever done. But this is different level. This is professional. Like, I'm training with a guy that's on Team GB, Rugby Sevens, and to be coming up to their level or train at their level is different stuff altogether. And like to say, iron sharpens iron. So when you're training at a higher level than what you're currently at, you're going to naturally get better anyway. But with these 2 gym sessions that I do on a Tuesday and Thursday, they're so hard. Like, I was doing them split squats and them single leg squats. Like, I wouldn't be able to talk after it for about 2 minutes, and that means like you're getting 3 minutes to rest in between the sets, but you're alternating between the squats and the single leg hip thrusts, or the single leg glute bridges. And yeah, I just don't be able to talk because it's so hard, and I'm just putting so much effort in, and you're always at war with yourself in your brain about nearly trying to cut corners, but at the end of the day you're only fooling yourself if you're trying to cut corners. But that's the good thing as well about having Alan there as a coach, because he can see if you're sort of slacking, and he's able to say it to you, or even if he's looking at your form about being stable in the trunk, or your legs are not out far enough doing the squatting, that you're driving down through the heel. And just little simple things like that's very helpful, like, because at the end of the day you're paying for it too, and it is tough training on your own, of course it is, but when you have someone there that's pushing you, you get so much more out of it. Like, I thought genuinely before this month that I did in Bath, I thought I was training hard, but being honest, I was only training at 60% to what I was training in Bath. I'd even say 50%, and it just goes to show that when you are training at a top level with top people, there's so much more in you to do it. Because like one day I was doing a recovery session, and it was a walk bike, 30-minute on the assault bike, and an upper body session, and it was absolutely lashing rain down that evening, and I had to get 2 buses to go to the session, so it took me about an hour to get there between walking and getting on buses and waiting for buses. But I took the wrong bus, and I was about 20 minutes of a walk away from the training ground. So I literally was walking in the lashing rain. I got absolutely drenched. I came to the training facility, and I says to him that I'm after walking and running for about 20 minutes. I got lost. Do I need to go up on the bike? I'm warm enough. And he says, yes, of course you have to get up on the bike. It's part of the session. And just little things like that. Because if I went to do that session on my own, if the key was just left there for me to do it, I probably wouldn't do it because I didn't have someone to push me to do it. It's just little simple things like that. It's great to have someone pushing you to do them sort of things. Good to have someone there pushing you, and given that you're paying a lot of money for it, you want someone the best to do it for you. But that's what I found so beneficial about the trip too. And then on Thursday we did more speed mechanics. We did a lot of resistant band acceleration starts. You can see that in the video. We did sled pulls, and I did a few extra sled pulls because I needed to get my start right. And while I was over there and while he was there in person, he was able to get it right with me. So we did a couple of extra, and actually before that session we did another bit of testing. We were doing pogo hops, and I sort of felt something in my calf, and I didn't take any notice of it because I just thought it was something got to do similar to the shin splints. And when we went out on the grass to do the sled pulls, he was talking about driving force into the ground and getting back up, because if you don't drive enough force into the ground, you're going to go up and not out. So if you drive the force into the ground, your hips are going to go, and that's going to cause as well, if you don't drive enough force into the ground, you're going to use your opposite leg as a lever, and you're reaching from the ground. And that's where hamstring problems come, because you're reaching for the ground and you're not pushing for the ground and coming back. So it's all technical, like, it's all very technical. But I did a few extra sled pulls, and my calf got not very sore, but it was sore. It was a strain. It felt like felt really hard. And then we started into the 10 runs for the max velocity. I was running them at 7 out of 10 at fair out pace, and on the 5th run I just felt something. I stopped halfway through. I says, no, this is not good. And it's just from learning from experience that if the body is telling you something, stop. There's no such thing as, oh, I'm going to push through the pain barrier here now. You have to look down the future, look down the line, because look at what happened to me, that I was put out for 6, 7, 8 months with hamstring rupture. And even previous before that, when I had the grind hair, I played on in hurling matches with the grind hair and just made it worse. And you see how the domino effect happened, and it put me out for nearly 2 years because I tried to play through the pain barrier. It's foolish. It's foolish to do stuff like that, and you need to look after yourself too. But yeah, we pulled the session anyway, and he just said that it's good that it happened at the very end of the block, the very end of the month, because you're going into a deload week now anyway. So that was fine. And the next day, Friday, we did another strength session, and he sort of had to tailor the bit away from stuff that was sort of hampering my calf or affecting the session because of my calf, and we did different exercises. Like, you don't have to stop doing exercises because it's hurting your calf. You can do something different. You can do something different. You can always do something different. But yeah, that's how that week went. It's good to have that done. I'm very happy the way the month went. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of life lessons too. I learned a lot what it takes to be in the professional game, be in the elite space and train with the best around. It just makes me better athlete, better person. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I don't know. I can't throw it the other. I can't throw it the other side. Yeah.
Instead, it was very. It starts off. Sometimes you just get you focus a lot on just going to the floor, rather than focusing on coming back up as well.
All right.
It gets very stumpy.
Yeah.
So,
be light, like.
Yeah. So once you get down, get off.
Need more rhythm on my left, more power going back into the ground.
You're going to do, I want you to do 2 dribbles out to the second set of blues, so 30.
Right.
And just pick up the height and the intensity of your hip floor. Marcus, you're going to I don't want to use ankle shin knee with you anymore because it's like too fucking namby-pamby, like
right.
Get into it and get going.
Right.
So it's not like you go straight in full beams, but it's a bit more of a progressive build. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Done. Great job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it. These pockets are nice. Nice that.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. What I knew was getting the power was ripping the ground up.
Just like hitting the ground hard to go
Yeah.
forward. Yeah. Just a little bit. I felt like you were really harsh on yourself with your angle.
Right.
So you didn't have much time to get your foot under.
Yeah.
Up a little bit.
Okay. Same thing. Yeah.
Soft through the foot.
I was soft.
Yeah, did you feel it at the end? No?
Not really. Maybe on the right I did
So it's like
feel
this,
soft.
like that. Whoop.
Oh.
And then as you do that, if your foot drops, your hip drops. And if your hip drops, your foot does this, your opposite foot goes the other way. And you end up kicking your inside your leg. And that's what happened.
Right.
You've got to keep thinking, can I stay really stable and ready for the ground? It's not, ah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you've got to be stable through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that every time that you walk or run or jump, as I go to push forwards with my bum and my hammy and my calf, my hip flexor, my quad and my shin all relax so that I can push forward into their, almost like into their space. When you're injured, your body loses that stretch, relax kind of thing. So it feels like, and it doesn't really flow properly. This is what we're trying to do. Right, bounce please.
Right, try and keep stable.
Contact first, and then contact. So first rate, contact.
Right.
Okay? Stab here, hit harder, go quicker. Stab here, come on, stay quicker, yeah, quicker, come on. Yeah, stay, no, that's better.
I didn't get the concept from the start.
Yeah, so the last half of it was perfect.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want you to feel like exchanging your legs really quickly is completely natural. For you it's not, because your legs are so bloody long.
Yeah.
So they don't quite, the levers are longer, so it takes a bit longer for them to exchange, which is fine.
Yeah.
But when you're doing these, I want you to feel like they're passing each other at super speed, like Sonic.
Right, yeah. I didn't get it at the start because you said just like
Exchange.
No, you just said short steps, and I just thought I was thinking power and short steps. I wasn't thinking of speed.
Speed and short
Yeah, well,
steps.
that's
Okay.
different.
So the next time we do that drill, if I say short steps, I'll say I want speed of exchange.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Right.
Yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go. I'll tell you when to stop. We'll go out to about 15 meters, short and fast to begin with.
Right.
And then once you get some like stability in your frequency, so once it's like your exchange rate is stable, it's fast and it's short and it's sharp.
Yeah.
Start travel follow with it.
With bounds, like. Right. You just.
Try and keep holding that time.
Right. You just say go, and I'm to go out there.
Okay. Now we're going. Okay. Now start to go out. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah, better?
Yeah. Much better.
That's the feeling of what an acceleration should feel like.
Yeah.
Crazy exchange rate, and once you get that frequency going, then you start to grow out of the contacts. You hit the ground so hard you've got no choice but to get bigger.
Yeah.
That's what I want it to feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. That felt good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So now you're going to go into the sled, and you've got 5 reps to try and find that feeling in the sled when it's not me completely in control.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cool. I want you to start, instead of starting like as if you were like this and then getting going by kicking your legs forward. Walk forward so you've got some pressure on the sled. Set yourself up so you're like here. And the first, how do you start? Right foot forward?
Like that, or
Forward.
yeah, right, left foot forward.
Okay, so your first action is going to be to push through the ground on your left.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yep. At the moment, you're leading your momentum by throwing your leg at the target. You know, in the scissors we talked about, you can either do this to go forward,
Yeah.
or you can do that to go forwards.
Yeah.
At the moment, you're accelerating by doing this to go forwards.
All right.
I
Yeah.
want you to hit down and back so you go forwards.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Nail. Hit it. Done. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a hell of a change.
Is it? Yeah.
I'm hoping it felt you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So what do I need to focus on?
I want you to really focus hard on striking the nail. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
You've got to hit the nail down, and then the second it's in the ground, bounce up and touch the balloon.
And what am I doing?
At the moment, it's just like your foot stays on the ground too long. I want you to whack and get off.
Right.
More reflexive, a little bit more bouncy, yeah?
Right.
Yeah. So I need you to think about the whole thing about hitting the nail is on your left side, you're hitting the nail down and through the ground straight away, so that sends your hips forwards.
Right.
On the right, you do hit the nail, but instead of hitting the nail and driving it into the floor, you just stay there. And you don't actually drive it into the floor, and your left side goes, I've got you, and it swings out instead.
Ah, right.
So
Yeah.
you've got to drive it through the ground.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, but you know why that could be? I'm just saying that's.
It's your hamstring. So it's not your calf, it's your hamstring. So your ability to get your, like, to extend your hips,
Yeah.
all hamstring.
Right.
That ability exists, that's the job of the hamstring.
Yeah. And the swing leg happens because that's
Because that's
compensating.
not doing its job.
So that's
It's like yin-
compensating.
the body is yin and yang, right?
Yeah.
And if yin ain't fucking working, yang's now the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what the swing leg is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to try and get the harmony. But it's a skill.
Yeah.
It's also telling your brain it's okay, it's safe.
Yeah.
And you can't really influence that unless you override it consciously and be like, I am going to push through the fucking floor.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to go, you're now going to rest now for like 2 minutes.
Right.
Marcus is going to do a set, and you're going back in the sled.
Right.
Okay, because we need to get it right before you leave.
Right. Okay.
Whack, straight through the ground. You're pushing all your power down and through the ground with that right side, so you don't need to swing and crunch.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Right. Right.
And then, mate, if it's as simple as more power,
Yeah. More power.
but you need to be able to review that by yourself and be like, if I hit the ground and my hip doesn't go forward, and my leg crunches up like this, I know I haven't hit the ground hard enough and pushed myself forward.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, do it. 10 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Walk or what?
So that hit me there because I wasn't going in hard enough on the right.
Correct.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So it's a really nice feedback tool. If you're not prepared and aggressive to the right, your left side will flick in.
Right.
So you've got to be prepared to hit down and through and come back off.
Right.
Good, unstrap.
But do one more.
No, good. All good. As long as you have in your head what we need from this acceleration training,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the best thing that we can possibly have.
Yeah.
Cool, right. You're going to go into your 1050s. Colin, you ready for your first one?
Yeah.
So, 5 out of 10 for the first one.
Yeah.
Remember, the right side is not your top kick. You've got to push yourself forward. Good. That's it. Good.
Trying to swing for the ground and go down and hit the ground with intent and get back up, push myself off. Right. Right, I'm overthinking everything. I just need to focus on dribbling. Because I'm trying to focus on hitting the ground with intent. Fucking keep it tall. Keep it tall. There, my calf. So I had to finish the session there now. 5 left to go. Got to do with fatigue. I'm after doing a lot of acceleration, so it's got to do with a lot of fatigue. Nothing to worry. I just need a deload week. I'm coming down now from 4-week training camp. That was very, very tough. So the 5th week, I need a deload week. Coming off that last week, Thursday, doing speed mechanics, I sort of strained my calf a bit doing pogo jumps on the testing machine, just seeing how high I can jump, and I sort of strained it a bit. I think it was just from overuse. And then I went out to do sled runs and just doing the technique that I was showing in a previous video about hitting the nail hard into the ground and getting back up, and I was doing that and doing it well. I figured it out, and over repetition, over time, and I had to do a few extra because Alan wanted me to get it right, basically, and I did get it right. And it's important to know what the feeling is like, and I just felt like just being more aggressive, because if that back knee just snaps back, that means you're going up into the air and not pushing your hips out. So the more force you drive into the ground, the more your hips will go that way, and you don't want your opposite leg sort of reaching for the ground. And if you don't put enough force into the ground, you're going to be reaching with the other leg, and that's what happened to me, because how I ruptured my hamstring, because I was reaching for the ground out ahead of me and not driving more force into the ground, so my opposite leg was ready for the ground, if that makes any sense. So we did that, and we were scheduled to do 10 runs at 7 out of 10, and I only could do 5. I stopped the session halfway through, and I was happy to, even though I didn't get to finish that session, I was happy to realise that I'm in tune now with my body, and I know that when I have enough, and it's not about, oh, I have to train harder and you have to get everything in. No, you don't. With sprinting, it's all about quality, not quantity, and you're only harming yourself down the line if you're training through pain barrier. And that's what happened to me 2 years ago when I tore my groin, and I kept hurling on it and made it 10 times worse, and that put me out for 8-9 months, and then I came back and ruptured my hamstring. So you can see how the domino effect happened there. So just don't be silly, do the right thing, listen to your body, learn from my mistakes. So this week's all about deload week. I'm looking forward to it, because even though I worked hard, it's important that I need to take a step back and reflect on the month that I had, and learn from the month, and get ready for the next month. it's important to take time, downtime too, let the body recover and go at it again.